Morning all. Hey guys. Alright, so this is going to be a video response to Wiccagem's diary video. He was doing a video talking about Samhain, and he was just asking about what are your thoughts about in terms of spirit overwhelm and the veil being thin and how you do that sort of stuff. So I thought I would get into that. So, let me just go off and say, first off, Samhain was actually the first sabbat that I performed or that I held ritual as a solitary, and that was 3-4 years ago when I hadn't even started practicing. It was just I was reading up on it, and the time was coming up, and I was like, well, I should try something out. Why not? So I did, and it was amazing. The energies that I felt were insane. It was unbelievable. And ever since then, Samhain has been that time. I mean, it always is, and it's going to be that time when the veil is thin. And I actually wanted to say that there are actually 2 points in the year where the veil is thin. Samhain is one, and the other one is Beltane. Beltane is also when the veil is thin. Both those times the veil is thin. Okay? And the difference is that for Samhain time, we say the veil is thin in order for spirit communication, ancestor communication, that sort of thing, for passing over, dealing with that stuff. It's more of a death-oriented spirit work, whereas Beltane is more of a high energy, excitement, life and love and sexuality and that sort of thing, passion and birth. And so that's the time when the veil is thin as well, and spirits are allowed to come through to be reborn. That's the time that they do it. So you have to look at it both sides. They're at opposite ends of the wheel. Beltane and Samhain are at opposite ends of the wheel, and they are both when the veil is thin. And like I said, Beltane when the spirits come in, Samhain when the spirits leave. So I've always sort of looked at that and thought that was kind of interesting. And I know a lot of people, well, not a lot, I know a few people that are and they say that one of the lore in regards to those 2 time periods is that children that are born basically in bulk, which is 9 months after Beltane, and if you can obviously count and check back, but those children are considered children of the goddess because they are born on Beltane. They were conceived Beltane, and there is no question about it. They are of the goddess, and you don't question who the father is because that child does not belong to anybody except for the goddess. And I know 2 people who are like that. 2 people that I know personally, or well, one I know personally, and one I know as an acquaintance, that are Beltane babies, essentially, because they were born on Imbolc, or near Imbolc. Anyway, so back to the whole spirits and Samhain. Within the circle that I work with, it is a very important time. It is a very good time to do lots of ancestral work. I mean, we do ancestral work anyway throughout the year. It's not something that we ever really not really work with, but yes, I do agree that during Samhain time, Hallows time, we do tend to work a lot more intimately with the ancestors and the spirits on the other side. So, like for example, or not for example, but every year our circle, we hold a 3-day festival type of thing, or retreat, I should say. It's a 3-day retreat, 3 or 4 day over the weekend retreat, that we have a little house that we rent out, and we have all the people show up, and we have a basically weekend long Samhain celebration, and it's really good. It's really intense because I mean it's especially fun to watch some of the newer people. I remember when I did it last year, and I was new to the group, and I was like, this is so cool, and we were all excited. I'm like, this is so, this is what we all kind of needed. Like, we want like this like weekend intensive with just constant sort of just workings and doing, practicing the craft and all that jazz. Because at the time, a lot of us were obviously busy with work and obligations, and we couldn't always do things all the time. And some of the people that were there were at that point in their lives where you have that conflict within yourself where it's like, how do I balance my mundane life and my magical life? And so that was like a good thing for them. But anyway, yeah, Samhain was a great time for that stuff. I do a lot of workings now during Samhain with ancestors and other spirits. As far as, and I know also, I should probably mention, I have a few friends that are psychics and readers, and I know one medium who's very, very good, amazing, and we had held a gallery reading a couple weeks ago at the shop that she works at, which is basically where we have people show up and she goes around individually, reads you, and sees who's with you and conveys messages back and forth. And as we were as we were prepping for that, there was a lot of physical activity going on that was spirit related. For one thing, we were talking, me and the girl, we were talking, the medium, and she was sitting on a chair and I was sitting on the other chair, and we were talking, and then she felt like a shove, like she was literally like pushed right in the little hallway that they had leading into the room where we were going to do the reading. And she's like, wow, what was that? And I'm like, what happened? She goes, didn't you? I'm like, yeah, I kind of saw that you kind of went like that, and it was really interesting, And then later during the readings, one of the readings we were doing, or she was doing, a bell went off. And it was really interesting because it was obviously clear as a bell, but it was clear. You could tell, obviously, it was a bell. It wasn't anything else. Very loud, ding, 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 And we all kind of was like, oh, that's interesting. And then later we were asking the shopkeepers, and we would say, hey, do you guys have a bell in the back? Because we told them, oh my god, all this stuff happened, and they're like, oh, that's really cool, it's interesting. And we asked, like, do you guys have a bell in the back? Because they have a back storeroom where they have the inventory and stuff. And she's like, no, we don't have a bell back there. There are no bells back there. There's a singing bowl. And she immediately was like, well, it's probably the singing bowl. That's probably what it was. And we were like, ooh, interesting. So, yeah. Samhain is definitely a time when the veil is thin and spirits come through. They're always coming through. But I think it's just easier and it's a more popular time because the veil is thin for them to come through. But like I said, yeah, my friend who's a medium, she sees them all the time. They're always there. It's just, at that time, it's usually a little bit more prominent. So, yeah, those are my views, those are my opinions, those are my experiences. Hope you enjoy. And, yeah, that's it. Bye, guys.